Time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by Remington Rad, makers of the world's #1 electric shaver, the Remington. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, our publisher panelist, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Ladies and gentlemen, our panel has a crazy mixed-up look tonight because our two brave girls, Arlene and Dorothy, are facing the front in Monaco, where a photographer bit a policeman this afternoon. But in the place of Arlene and Dorothy, we have two most unusual, wonderful lady guests. And immediately on my left is one of them. She's a star of the stage and movies, an Academy Award winner, just come back from finishing a picture called High Society with Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and a girl called Grace Kelly, or something like that. Miss Celeste Holmes.
Thank you, Bennett. On my left, I would like to introduce to you someone who needs no introduction, Robert Q. Lewis, who is now back from Paris and back to resume his own show. And there's one question I want to ask you. You know, there's a saying that goes something like this. You can take the boy away from CBS, but I don't think you can take the CBS out of the boy.
I'm being accused of being a company man, and I think I am. To my left, our second lovely lady. She is a very unusual lady. She writes a column, a very interesting one, for the New York Journal-American. You know her as one of the great hostesses of our time. You also know her as a guest star on a gentleman who has a show very similar to mine, and I wish I had her. She was with Jack Parr very frequently. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Elsa Maxwell.
And now I would like to introduce a gentleman I have known for some time, who I consider a very outstanding and charming man. We both belong to the same organization, the Overseas Press Club. He's very high up. I'm very low down. I voted for him, and he's #1, John Daly.
Gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. And Miss Elsa, I very much appreciate all your kind words, but it's not going to do the panel a bit of good. Please get your blindfolds on right now.
Right now?
Right now.
John, I'm going to fall flat on my face.
No, you're not. Once again tonight, we're up to our old tricks. We have some very interesting people and some wonderfully interesting occupations attached to them. And I'm quite sure they'll give the panel a lot of trouble. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before our panel a little bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger in just 30 seconds.
And now, friends, I'd like to have you meet our shaving experts, the 4 Shavians. You ready for your question, boys?
Yes.
All right, sir. What's the big news in shaving?
Remington's 15-day free trial.
And why?
Because Remington guarantees cleaner shaves.
Oh, your money back.
Ah, you're so right. So you see, men, you have nothing to lose but your whiskers. So start your Remington 15-day free trial tomorrow.
All right, panel, are those blindfolds all in place?
Yes, sir.
Good, that's splendid. Now we'll meet our first challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Right there, thank you. Come right over here now and sit down next to me. All right, panel, as it does not need to be said, there is something about our guest that would mean a great deal to you if you were not blindfolded. It might be a matter of identification or costuming or something that the writing might reveal to you. So that all we can do at this point is to find out if our guest is familiar with the scoring system we use. If you say no to the panel properly to any question, we flip a card, and 10 cards, you have won the game. All set? Fine. Then let's let the people at home and our friends here in the theater know exactly what your line is. Panel, we give you one bit of help. Our guest is self-employed, and we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Well, I noticed the audience waited until they found out what you did to burst into applause. So I wonder if we're masked rather because of what you do than what you look like. Is that correct?
What?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I would say this, Bennett. There is an area of identification having to do certainly with the line of our panelists. There is also, to be completely fair to you, an area of identification respecting the identity of our guest at the same time.
I knew I'd been missing something.
The guest has not answered the question yet, so I haven't been able to find out whether it's a lady or a gentleman.
Let's hear a voice.
I would like to hear the guest answer my question. Would I know about you if have I read something about you in the paper?
Yes,
Are you a lady?
yes.
Wait a minute now, Miss Holmes. Yes, easy does it.
Well, just to get one thing out of the way that we've been talking about continuously, have you anything whatever to do with this confounded wedding that's coming up this week?
You mean the Monaco
I
ceremony?
mean the Monaco wedding.
No,
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Holmes.
Were you born in the United States?
no.
2 down, a date to go, Mr. Lewis.
Gee, that sounds like a French accent. I
I think it's Russian.
wonder if I met her in Paris. Are we blindfolded because one of us might have had something to do with you?
You are blindfolded because it's possible that some among you may have recognized our guest, yes.
And it has been established that we might have read about you in the newspapers.
That's right.
Do you perform a service?
Yes,
Have I or could I ever have availed myself of your services?
no.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Elton.
Have you ever treated me?
No,
4 down and 6.
Why?
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
You perform a service, but it is not a service, I assume, that is performed for men. Is that correct?
yes,
You do something for ladies.
yes,
Has it got anything to do with the things that ladies wear?
yes,
Are you a famous designer of some sort?
yes,
Now, actually, as you know, Bennett, there is a very substantial area where
Yes.
the
Well,
distaff side is concerned. It can be
Well,
adornment, ornament,
Would you design clothes?
clothes. Did you say clothes,
Yes.
Bennett?
Dresses.
yes.
Well, Celeste, you know ladies' design is better than I do. I'm going to pass this on to you.
Oh, you are?
That would be Scaparelli.
You're so good to me.
Actually, I do say this, that you were asked to identify the line rather than the individual, but there's another wedding coming up, Bennett. That should tell you who it is.
Truman wedding.
Yes.
Well,
This is the lady who has designed Margaret Truman's dress?
that's absolutely
Fontana.
right.
Fontana.
That's right.
Fontana.
That's right.
That's
Absolutely right. You may take off your blindfolds and you're to be...
Fontana?
Yes.
Lynn Fontana?
No, not Lynn Fontana.
No, Line Fontana.
Actually, your first name is pronounced with Nicole?
Mikol, yes.
Nicole Fontana,
I got your name.
who came this week and was very much in the papers because she arrived with a wedding dress and she kept it right in the trunk that she brought it in and is going to go out to Missouri that way, isn't it?
I had
You know
my
everything.
girl wrong way.
It's not fair.
Well, Miss Fontana, I must say it was wonderful of you to give us some of your time in this visit to the United States, and we did give the panel some trouble, and I think it's a good way to start things off.
I don't think enough.
Not enough. I think you're right, too. It's lovely to have had you with us. Would you say hello to the panel,
Thank
please?
you very
Nice to
much.
see you.
It's been
John, of course you know who designed Miss Kelly's costume, don't you? Because I don't.
No, I
Who
don't.
designed her wedding?
I do, Helen Rose.
Helen Rome.
Rose.
Rose, I mean. Rome, we both said Rose. No, you said Rose.
That's fine. I'm glad we got that straightened out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Would you like to know who makes my suit? No, I guess you don't. Well, let's see what you can do with another challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Right there, please, sir. I guess we'd better not, actually, on second thought. I tell you what we'll do. Again, because we're a little fearful we might give something away. It's a tricky night, isn't it? We will neither ask our guest to sign in nor tell you from whence he came. All I will ask him to do is to give you a chance to inspect him a bit. Will you take a hike down in front of the tent?
How do you do?
How do you do?
All right, sir, if you will, come over here and sit down next to me. And, panel, I don't want you to let any of this confuse you, please. Don't be confused.
Certainly not.
Are you familiar with our scoring system, sir? Well, if you are, then let's let the folks at home and our friends here know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we want to be helpful, and so we will tell you that our guest is salaried. And let's begin the general questioning with Robert Q. Lewis.
You are salaried, sir. Do you work for a profit-making organization?
No.
You do not.
That's 1 down and 9 to go. Miss Elsa.
You work for, are you in services, general services?
Yes.
Are they for the government?
Yes.
Are they very well known, these services?
Yes.
Very well known.
I would say that the particular service that is performed is relatively well known.
Is it in the tax department, the revenue department?
See, I was afraid they were going to ask that. No, it is not the Internal Revenue Department. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Sir.
Well, sir, are you employed by the federal government?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Holmes.
The American government.
Federal now.
An American or the American?
Oh, pardon me. Yes, of course. Well,
The men's show.
I see. I'm still on?
Yes, you're with
That?
us. Sure.
Are you in the executive branch of the government?
No, this isn't quite fair to Miss Holmes. I think we have to
I'm
get something
confused.
clarified. Bennett asked specifically about the federal government.
I
And the
see.
federal
And these
government-
are all and I'm
No.
only...
Yeah.
It's no.
It's either state
I
or
see.
local.
Well, do you enjoy your work? Do you?
I would say this, if I may take the burden from our guest. I think anyone can take pleasure in doing work well, and it is very generally accepted that our guest does perform his duties very, very well indeed.
Well, he still doesn't seem to enjoy it enough.
So you're still on, Miss Celeste. You got a yes.
I see. Are you from New York City?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Lewis.
You do not work for the federal. Do you work for the state, for a state government?
Yes.
Oh, well, a state government. Is your job an appointive job?
No.
No.
It's an appointive job?
Yeah, I asked, was it an appointive job? An appointed job, an appointed job. As
a
opposed
moment.
to elective.
Yes, that's right. That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Maxwell.
Has it anything to do with dogs?
No. That's 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Sir. I want to say one thing here so that you'll not be confused. Bob asked the question if it was an appointive job. It is not. But this should not necessarily, and I think our guest will agree with me to say, this should not necessarily persuade you that it's an elective job. You may go into that realm if you wish.
Well, I would like to know first whether you have anything to do with law enforcement.
Yes.
Are you in any way connected with a prison?
Yes.
Are you one of the chief officers in one of our state prisons?
Yes.
How do you know all this, Ben?
I'm just guessing. Would it be up at...
Then it's been in and out of some of the
some of the best of it. Would it be in arsenic?
Yes.
Are you the warden at arsenic?
I was very much afraid when Robert got into whether it was elective or appointive, and I felt I had to clarify. Actually, it's a civil service competitive examination assignment, which is not elective and not appointive. You have to get in there and fight for it and have to be a good man to get it. So, because I think, stepped in, we'll throw the rest of the cards over anyway,
John, I'd like to donate whatever I won tonight there to St. Anne's Church and ask them for their school building program.
Fine, sir. We will see that it goes.
Father Marino can use it.
Father Marino can use it. He can use a lot of support from a lot of other people. Of course, we're talking about Ossining and Sing Sing, which are synonymous. And this is Mr. Wilfred Deno, who is the warden up there. And now you can see, Miss Celeste, why he couldn't really say with great
I hope
glee,
if
yes, I enjoy my
if
work.
I'm ever put there, he'll be kind to me.
We promise you you'll get the best of treatment. He'll give you... Why don't you... He'll give you a low number. Now, what should you ask? It's wonderful to have you with us. Nice to have you on What's My Line. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment. But first, here's Dick Stark with a word from Remington Rand.
And once again, friends, our 4 shaving experts. First of all, Peachy, Brushface, Little Shaver, and Cheeky. Now, boys, you ready for the question?
Yeah.
All right, sir. What is the best test for the Remington electric shaver?
Oh, I know.
Hold it.
I know.
Peachy, you're first.
That's easy. The best test is the peach test.
Oh, but Peachy, you're prejudiced. However, let's watch it. Here we see the Remington electric shaver shaving the short, close fuzz off of Peach without ever harming its tender skin.
Yeah, but the best test, what about us guys with tough beards? I
Whoa.
like the brush test.
Brush test, all right. Here we see the Remington shaving the tough bristles off a brush. And those bristles are tougher than any beard, believe me.
Even mine.
Oh, fellas, I like the Remington speed test.
Well, Little Shaver is referring to the test where Jim Coburn shaves off, as you see here, a full growth of whiskers in a matter of moments. And just look at those whiskers come off. Oh, brother. Panel, I don't know. It's pretty hard to decide.
Oh, just a moment. Just hold. Obviously, the best test is the one you make yourself on your own face.
Well, thank you, Cheeky. Right you are. Friends, Cheeky is referring to the 15-day test. You see, Remington now offers a 15-day free home trial. As a matter of fact, we guarantee cleaner shaves for 15 days or your money back. So make that test yourself, men. You have nothing to lose but your whiskers. And by the way, if you have an old standard make electric shaver around the house, bring it in because it's worth a whopping big $8.50 as a trade-in. That's $8.50, mind you, not $7.50. $8.50 more than anyone else offers. So pick up your Remington electric shaver, either the brand new Remington foursome or the man-size 60 Deluxe, and start your Remington 15-day test tomorrow.
Shave a peach with it if you want to.
Or a brush.
And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my colleagues in the panel are once again blindfolded. Are the blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, indeed.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery guest, we go to a different form of questioning. You will ask one question at a time, going clockwise, and we'll begin it all with Celeste Holmes.
Are you in a branch of the entertainment business?
Yeah.
Mr. Lewis?
Oh.
Yeah? What were the girls screaming for?
Yeah.
Are there... That was a... is that voice...
Huh? Obviously put on.
No, but it's,
yes.
I heard screams when this guest... And I'm sure they would scream for a lovely lady, but it sounded to me like the kind of screams I would like to get. Are there two of you there?
Well, yes.
Miss Elsa?
They're twins. Let me see. What twins do we know? Martin and Lewis.
No, that's one down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
The boy and a girl, I take it. Well, this is almost too easy. Are you both equally well known in movies and television and everything else?
Well, it was, you think that, well, I don't know.
yes. Miss Holmes?
No.
A yes, and a no.
Have we met in the same cage before?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Why wasn't I in that cage? Is it possible that you have both, to each other, I might add, been recently married?
Recently? Just a moment. Well, yes, would you say yes? Yes, we would, yeah.
Miss Maxwell?
Are you Julius La Rosa and his...
No, I'm afraid not. $2.08 to go, Mr. Sir.
I would say that judging by the huskiness and the voices of these two people, I haven't been drinking enough Cokes lately. Would it possibly be Debbie and Eddie?
Yes. Miss Holmes, I believe that you and Miss Debbie Reynolds were together in the tender trap.
Indeed, we were, but Debbie, you never used that voice before.
Yes,
John, I was sure, you see, that it was Jean-Pierre Aumont and his lovely wife, Maria.
Well,
Because that accent, I was sure that, there was no attempt to... You look beautiful, incidentally.
Those squeals only mean Eddie.
Debbie, I saw the catered affair the other night, and it's a wonderful picture, and you're just wonderful in it.
thank you for that.
This is the new one that isn't out yet. When is it coming?
That's right.
Well, I don't know when it's exactly coming out. It's very new. I guess in about a month it should be out.
This is the one with Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine, Betty Davis, and Barry Fitzgerald.
I've never heard so many men cry in a theater. Really?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't take Eddie. You don't want to cry, do you?
Oh, I always cry.
You cry whenever you see Debbie.
Eddie, how did you get out of that baseball thing so quickly? I just saw you, it seems to me.
Yeah, you and Ford Frick were playing baseball tonight, weren't you? On NBC? Yes. Oh, for that other network. Pardon me.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Started to say it.
Well, you traveled hard and fast, and thank you very much for coming to see us. It's wonderful. We've had them each with us before, separately. And actually, the night Debbie was here, Eddie was nice enough to come up after we got through guessing, but we think it's wonderful to have you both together.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the recent ceremony.
Thank you.
A long and happy life to both. Good tonight. Let's see what you can do with the final challenger. I will put you on your toes because we'll have about 3.5 minutes. Will you sign in, please, sir? T.F. Flock. Is that right, sir? How are you? Nice to see you. Where are you from? Panel, Mr. Flock is from Atlanta, Georgia. Take a good look at him because he's not coming down there. To save time, he's coming with me. And if you will, sit right down here, sir, next to me. Do you know how we score this operation?
Yes, I do.
Fine. Then let's let the folks at home and those with us here in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right, panel. Give you a bit of help. Mr. Flock is self-employed. And let's begin the general questioning with Elsa Maxwell.
Mr. Flock, have you, is your employment in the outside, in the open air, or indoors?
Well, this can't be answered yes or no. You want to take the
Is
first one?
You look as if your employment was in the outdoors.
Yes, sir.
I see. May I go on?
Mm-hmm.
Is it to do with outside athletic training? Physical?
No, I don't think we could. Actually, this is one I hate to say no, Miss Elsa, but it's not specifically athletic training, so I have to give you no. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Flock, do you work in the fields rather than in the city? In the open country?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I would say this, that all things being relative and cities and countryside being relative in various degrees, we could say that Mr. Flock is in the fields in some degree.
Have you finished, Mr.
Yeah, I'm
Jackson?
all finished now.
John, I'm having more trouble understanding you than I did the French.
Mr. Flock, does your work require dexterity with your hands?
Does the work require dexterity with your hands?
Yes.
Do you do anything in the way that has anything to do with pipes or machinery?
Pipes or machinery?
Yes.
Yes.
Would that be machinery?
Yes.
Is this machinery that has anything to do with with construction of any kind?
No. 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Hall. We have about a minute and a half.
Do you use this product, or do you use this product?
What product?
This
machinery, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, I'd say use the machinery.
Do people come to you? Now, that wouldn't work if we're outdoors, would it?
Unless it were raining, it'd be all right.
Well, you mean borrow the tractor? I see. Do you have to do with a crop?
Farming, you mean?
Yes.
No. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Now, this machinery, which is outdoors, does this have anything at all to do with a product? Is there any product involved in your work?
No, not in our terms of reference. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Maxwell.
Has it anything to do with oil?
No. 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Flock, has anything to do with transportation?
Yes.
In a way, Bennett, and I think perhaps you might be opening the door to the final solution, but our time has run out, so we'll flip the rest of the cards. Mr. Flock is a champion stock car race driver. And actually, Bennett, we have a little problem with the fields because, what are you going to drive at Langhorne?
This coming Sunday.
This coming Sunday. Now, this is just outside of Philadelphia, you know, and it's a field, but it ain't the real country, so I didn't quite know what to say. Thank you very much, sir, for being our guest and for puzzling the panel for 3 minutes. Nice to have you with us. And now, before our panel says good night, may I remind you to tune in again next Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when once again we invite you to play What's My Line. For other localities, check your local listings for the date and time of our weekly series. And now, a word from next week's sponsor.
Remington. Remington now guarantees. Pay attention, Mac. Cleaner shaves for 15 days. Or your money back.
Thank you, Brushface. That's right, friends. Remington now guarantees cleaner shaves. So pick up a Remington on the 15-day free home trial plan. You have nothing to lose but your whiskers.
I have some happy news for us, and I think for you. Miss Elsa Maxwell and Miss Celeste Holm will be back with us again next week, and we're very happy about it. Not next week? Our other girls will be back next week. How mixed up can I get? Arlene and Dorothy will be back next week. Our thanks to Miss Celeste and Miss Elsa, and till next week, good night, Bennett.
Well, first time I saw John with egg in his mouth. Well, thank you for coming with us, girls.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
have our regulars back next week. The next time you see Miss Holm will be on Climax on May 3rd. Till then, good night.
Thank you, Bennett. And the next time you will see Robert Q. Lewis will be on his own show.
Thank you, Celeste. The next time you see Elsa, we'll be on another very good show.
Next
Jack.
Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Good night, Elsa.
Good
When I
night.
shall talk about this program.
All right.
And good night, Miss Maxwell, Miss Holm again. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line.
Travel arrangements on What's My Line are made through American Airlines. American Airlines flies our contestants in luxurious comfort aboard DC-7 flagships. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman.